Happy Friday. Go turn that down a little bit. Okay. So yeah, it's Friday. We're not necessarily going to be doing fan art Friday per se. Impairment. I wonder where that came from. Looks like cats. So yeah, so like we're just gonna jump into working on an art fight thing. Someone attacked me, and I can't let that stand. So here we are. The character that we are drawing. Let me get this here. This character. Fix that. There we go. Apparently, his name is Mr. Train Conductor. So we're going to be doing a thing with him. There's really nothing else really to add to that, so we're just going to go ahead and get going. I have been working on this, and it hasn't been going as well as I liked it.
It was good.
So, but I have another idea for it that I think is going to work out a lot better.
Soon fell victim to vanity and corruption. Then man made the machine in his own likeness. Thus did man become the architect of his own demise.
Did I fall asleep?
So I'm going to be drawing a train, and there's going to be lots of smoke, and then he's going to be coming out of the smoke, and it's going to look really cool and awesome and epic, and I hope they like it.
Please. Transcend.
The leaders of men were quick to order the extermination of B166ER and every one of his kind throughout each province of the Earth.
Androids and liberal sympathizers flooded the streets of the nation's capital today to protest and lead the threat of violence.
I was going to do a Art Deco streamlined design train, but I realized you can't quite tell it's a train from the front. Not really. So we're gonna go with a more industrial, classic look for a train.
Did I fall asleep? Please. Transcend.
I will be doing designs with the Art Deco streamlined train design because that is what I'm basing most of the vehicles for Necropole off of, is those kind of trains. Particularly the ships. find out if I actually press the right buttons. There we go. There we go, that looks a lot better. The one train I was using as a reference, I was like, not so much giving me train vibes. I'm using a different one that is a photograph of a train. This should go a lot better. Just gonna preview this section here. Picking the sketch, and then I gotta figure out how to connect all this stuff for the stained glass part. adjustments on the size. Oh, I just looking at this just made me think he looks like a frog with Down syndrome. That's not right. You know what? Let's just do this. Nope, wrong one. This one. You know what? Screw it. Screw it! We'll do it live. It usually helps to be on the correct layer. I hear that's beneficial. Do something else. I'm probably making this a lot more difficult for myself, but right now my brain's brining right now. do like drawing me a smile. A big poofy smear. Okay, that worked out great. Isn't for any real reason. I just want to do this. I just feel like doing it. Stop hectoring me. Let me do what I want. Get off my back. God. Tell you what, this looks atrocious. This hat. Look at Major V's hat. Do you think I know how to draw a hat? No. I don't. I don't know how to do much of much. Okay? My favorite part of doing these stained glass window looking one pieces is trying to figure out how to design connections, how to make patterns and stuff that that's going to work for both as a structural thing, but also like aesthetically pleasing. Oh. I need to put something behind him. I didn't think that far ahead. Here. What's some more train things? What are train things that we could put in here? There are some train, like old train designs that look really cool, and it just makes me wonder what parts of physics made it to where that was just not going to work. Or maybe just not optimal. It makes me curious. How about train stations? What can we get from that? Oh, I could put a clock. That'll work. Let's just make this easier. It's almost perfect. Yeah, that'll be. Curve just a little bit into that. headlines.
Dodge this.
There we go. Okay.
Only human.
Oh, okay. Like, what is circular? Like, what exactly does it mean? It means that. Exactly. So how do I make it look like this? Okay, never mind. Where to do these? I do not have the brain power to deal with this. Like, my brain just shut down. Holy crap. Yeah, this is gonna be rough.
Dodge this.
It's not how a clock works. You know, kids these days, they wouldn't know, so it's fine. Why not? And I want to put in, just because I think it looked cool, I want to put in some yars.
tame, unleash the fight. Climb a rush to the void. To the void.
What am I doing? I don't know. I'm seeing if something will work. That's how I do all my artwork. I am just a small, scared child, desperately trying to get things to work, and they never do. I'm so scared right now. Can't even think straight. Okay, that's good enough. All this air. Okay. This crap. First. There we go. We don't want too many lines because I easily get confused and then I start crying, and we don't need that. Okay. Okay. I actually was on the correct layer. I was using the wrong setting of brush. There's always got to be something that I'm doing wrong. know these bumper-looking things are supposed to be behind the guard, but I think it looks cooler this way. Although there are some designs where it's like that. So, I know what I'm doing. Shut up. Keep it like that. Screw it. I don't care. We'll do that. Too bad. A little better. Okay. I like putting these lines in it because I feel like it gives that illusion of depth and stuff. You can do that with when you're doing like crosshatch and shading. You go with the form of the subject. kind of thinking with this that the lines go with the flow of what the smoke would be doing. At least that's what I'm thinking I'm doing. Hopefully that's actually coming across. I don't know, I really like the way it looks. So, back in high school, me and a friend of mine, well, my friend was like super into paintball, and I was kind of into it because I thought it was fun and cool, but he was like crazy into it, like almost wanting to go professionally, or at least amateur. And so one time in the summer, my parents have like 1 or 2 acres of woods in their backyard. So we took an entire acre. Actually, I think we took both acres. And we turned it into a paintball arena. It was pretty cool. We went around like the entire summer. We went around looking for things that we could put in it. Like, we found somebody was throwing away a bunch of pallets, so we grabbed them and we put just boards of wood inside them, and then we basically made walls with that. And then we made what's called snakes, which is basically like half walls, kind of snaking around an area. And he used to work at JCPenney's. Well, he was working at JCPenney's at the time. And so one time, I think they were doing like a remodeling or something, so they threw out a bunch of... It was kind of crazy what they were throwing out. They were throwing out... Like, I understood that they threw out shelves, but they were throwing out like doors and door frames and windows and all sorts of stuff, which I thought was kind of crazy. And then, so we like put all that stuff together, and when we were first clearing out the woods, cleaning it up so that we could do all this stuff, we found, I think we found 5 or 6 railroad ties. And we're like, why are there railroad ties here? We are 5 miles away from a railroad, and we are, I don't know how far away from a railroad station. But yeah, we grabbed them and we made bridges out of them because there was a little creek that went through the middle of the arena. And so that was pretty cool. And yes, so we did that, like, I don't know, first 2-3 months, something like that. I think we started like when school was still in. Basically, as soon as it got warm, we started on it. And then Yeah, and then we played paintball a few times after we got the guys together and did that. I think we also did like the next year. Hear that? Or we only did for the summer. I think we only did it for that one summer. We just did it a lot more than I expected we would. But yeah, and then later on, and by later on I mean like recently, I found out my dad put those railroad ties in there. Because he got them from some, like, I think an auction or something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, he put those in there. And so that kind of explained that mystery. But it was just so weird finding railroad ties. You know, the big, giant things of wood that braces the railroad track into the ground. Just like, why is this here? What's going on? I don't understand. I can't do that
The
yet.
history of yokai or Japanese ghosts can be traced back to the 8th century. Aliens. Ghosts. Monsters. Spirits. Yokai, 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 yokai,
Yeah, we had like big open area for it when we were clearing it out, and so we decided to turn that into something my friend called the Pillars of Attrition, I think is what he called it. Because we found these 2 logs that were like 1.5 to 2 feet thick. And they were like sawed on both sides, so flat. So what we did is we set up to where they were about 50 feet, I think, from each other. One person stood on each, and it was basically a duel. And it was basically, you sit there and you shoot at each other until you force the other one to jump off or fall off. We didn't realize it at the time, but I was kind of cheating because the O2 gauge on my gun was out of whack, and so it was shooting at like 2 to 3 times the pressure that it should, which meant that I was going through a lot of CO2, but still. So I never lost. Of course, I only did it a couple times, but still. That's not the point. I won. And that's what matters. I'm an idiot. I forgot. I can't do that yet. But there's different numbers on the other side. Oh, just shoot me now. You know what? I'm just gonna do it like this. Makes it look like ears. That's all we want. Yes, you want this too. You just don't realize it. And if you did realize it, I'm glad we're on the same page. Why are there pistons in the clock? Mind your business. Alright, you're pissing me off right now. That stupid ass question. I don't need your sass here. I get enough sass for myself. Even though I have no ass. I'm an assless sass. I like the pants. I need chapstick. I'm gonna just be talking myself. Might as well talk crazy. What if I was on the correct layer? Oh my god! That's what he said. What am I doing? Because I'm dyslexic doesn't mean my drawing has to be. Okay, nope, did it on the wrong layer because I'm gonna do it. putting in these routes. Because there's routes. But, I mean, what more of an explanation do you need? There's routes. Rocks! Is this extra? Uh-huh. Am I happy my brain's doing this? Nope. I never understood why there are places that are essentially like places to stay for the night or whatever, and they're called hostels. I don't want to stay at some place that the name of it tells me violence will happen. I've not seen those movies, but I know about them. Makes me not want to make that kind of investment. See, and that's why I did that, because I think that looks cool. Just making sure everything's connected properly. Yeah. I'm gonna click in this. I believe that's 10 pixels. I think I can do it here. Unless it looks like shit. Hey, yeah. Wait a minute. I think that's good. That's both directions. Nope. Okay. Well, let's do that again. What is this? Erasing without erasing and somehow not seeing it. That's okay. That's fine. Alright. 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 separate everything, I like to do this. Might help if I I'm having a rough time. Especially when I'm realizing I'm not doing things that I should be doing. Help me. I'm just giving myself more work. Help. Only going to do this for important elements, but not the background stuff. And there's no real need to do that for background stuff. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I was wondering if I should do it to the railroad tracks, but nah. I don't think I need to. Alright. Coloring. Just do this. Blech. Hold on, I'm throwing up. I don't remember what I was doing. to do a slight change. Never mind. Never mind. Symmetrized.
This is the dick loving cult.
Symmetrization is betraying me. And I'm on the wrong layer. Ha! If you suddenly hear a loud gunshot, don't worry about it, okay? Just don't think about it. Especially in Minecraft. Of course I'm...
This is the dick loving cult.
All right. Trying to do things while simultaneously having a brain. And only none of those things are happening, so that's kind of rough. Wait a minute, where are we? Oh yeah, mental breakdown. Okay. I should be an artist, I said. It'll be fun, I said. Everyone else was like, it'll be miserable, they said. Should have listened to them. Just making doubly sure I'm on the correct layer. Bold choice to have your serious song have a fart in it. Just gonna fill in all this with this. Actually, I shouldn't do that for the little circles because that's going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. Everything else should be fine though. That'll work. Symmetrization off. Don't do something stupid. Testing a lot. You should be nicer to yourself. What? Maybe I should stop doing stupid stuff. It doesn't help. Well, eventually I'll learn. Maybe, hopefully, possibly. Probably not. And I can dream. The music's kick-ass. I'm going to continue doing something insane. Because I am. What sane person does this? No, none of them. Okay, that's good enough. I have magically appeared. Welcome. I am ruining my life. One brush stroke at a time. All right. 500 brushstrokes. If only it was that few. Gotta merge these together. And then we don't need this. I do need to duplicate these. Put you in dock. Shut. Look. So how's your week been, Inky? Try this. Spin once more. Yeah. Okay. Multiply. Actually, there we go. That's 50, so that's about 50. I asked you first. There's something called deflection. Well, I play Uno reverse. So suck that. Yeah, that's weird. Well, you didn't play Uno reverse. You played deflection. That's different. And also, you can stack Uno reverses. You just keep going back and forth to the same person, to the same people. And also, I don't play by your daddy's rules. So, meh. Nice coin. My stream, my rules. Interesting sailing techniques there, Captain. I'm glad you noticed, finally. love adding that effect. I think it makes it look so cool. All I've been doing is ruining my sleep schedule and eating sweets. Like it'll help. I mean, I don't have a sleep schedule. At least a good one. Well, technically I do. I just don't use it. My sleep schedule is I go to bed at 12 and I wake up and I get out of bed. I don't wake up. I get out of bed at 9. What I do in between there may or may not contain sleeping. And it's not because I have my phone. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. Whoever said reading will bore you to sleep is lying, because why was it morning and the sun decided to rise? I don't know how doing something that makes your brain active would make you fall asleep. Unless it's a textbook of a subject you have no interest in. In which case, how can you even start reading that? Yep. Try to find some ASMR videos that are like the unintentional ones. 'Cause typically those are like of medical exams or teachers giving lectures and stuff like that, but they have like very soothing voices. That could knock you out like crazy. I can't help but feel like I'm the only one who really likes the way these stained glass window things look. I also can't help but think that I'm the only one who does it in this way. Because every time I look at other people drawing stained glass windows, they don't put these kind of effects into it, and this kind of lighting and stuff into it. But I really like it. I think it looks so much better this way.
A place regarded in various religions as a spiritual realm of evil and suffering.
Will you ever add those textured glass?
Traditionally depicted as a place of perpetual
You mean the ones where they're like
where the wicked
essentially
are punished after
paintings within the glass? Because I add the texture. The texture's already in it. It's this layer. But if you're talking about the ones where like they essentially put a painting into the shards of glass? Probably not. Because then I can just make a drawing.
Souls wander through the flames of eternal suffering, begging for forgiveness.
What's the lore behind this character? He's a train conductor. That's all I know. His name is Mr. Train Conductor. His description: a train conductor, he likes honest people and long, calm journeys on the train. Hates stowaways. We don't know more. That's it. But yeah, this person attacked me on Art Fight. With this, and I was very amused by it. Apparently all the little black smudges here are burnt bodies. But I was attacked, so and I cannot let that stand. I must defend my honor. Oh, I need to put my signature on it. He is pretty passive aggressive, but more on the aggressive side. Yeah. Totally, sure. I don't know why I'm saying the obvious. Water in the ocean. Look, it's all bodies under the bridge. We can move on.
I'm pretty, I'm snappy, I'm seductive and catty, transgressive, compulsive, stubborn and impulsive.
All right. What have I been up to this week? Killing myself. Essentially. finally am recovered, for the most part, from my tooth removal last week. That pain was lasting for way too long. I mean, I can eat anything now. The hole is almost completely healed over. So, nothing to worry about with that now. Hello, Stitches. Oh, Stitches. Somebody wants to lay on my shoulder. Poor baby, never gets anything she wants. Oh yeah, so recovering from that, and then been working my ass off with the book business. So much so that I had to take a day off because I was miserable yesterday. I was absolutely exhausted and my skin hurt. Typically when my skin starts to hurt, that's when I know I need to take a break. I need to submit this attack thing. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, and also having existential crisis episodes like every night. I think Inca Day of May affected me more than I expected. And not like working hard and all that stuff, but like the outcome of it. Like I had really high hopes with it, based off of the reception and the excitement people were showing. And I know I talked about it before, but like I think it really messed me up. Because it just made me feel like, how can I be excited to work on stuff when and that other people say that they're excited for, but then like it turns out to be a lie.
I'm not loyal to anybody. I'm a demon.
So I've been trying to fight that. I'm trying to get over myself with that.
I have no loyalty for anyone.
I did a little bit of writing with the Fee book. I've added a new character that I kind of like. I don't think this character has experienced like
I'm not loyal to anybody. I'm a demon.
trauma other than essentially going through boot camp. Like, that's the worst that they've gone through. Of course, it's boot camp that is conducted by Hokane. And Hokane is insane. But still, like... But this character is going to be a close friend of Fee's. And, his name is Bruda, which is not typically a name. Hold on, things are just kind of weirding me out. Okay. There we go. But yeah, so he is like a unit of a person. Like, when he becomes full grown, he is going to be 6'5", 350 pounds of mostly muscle, but he also has some padding. He gonna be a big boy. No, Hokane is not on cocaine. Though some people would think that he is, based on some of the stuff that he's done on the battlefield.
Long live the Empire.
But yeah, so Bruda, which that's his nickname. It's one of those nicknames where everybody calls you that for so long and never refers you to your actual name that you tend to forget what your actual name is. Well, when it comes to character names in the Feverse, I kind of have an idea of how the language works. So, I'm able to derive from that. Typically, outside of the Feverse, the way that I come up with names is that I look up words that are characteristics of the character in other languages, and then I find the one that I like, and then I tweak it a little bit so that it's just not a rip of that word in another language, but it sounds good. Okay, just making sure I've put everything in here correctly. Okay. All right. Okay, just checking something. strategy. I just find pretty words, then go, wow, this would be very obscure word. But it's pretty. This is your name now. Yeah, yeah, with Fee, I was, since I already had an idea of like a character being like bubbly and zany and stuff like that, I wanted to give her a name that had the same feeling with it. And just having just the name Major Fee just popped in my head, and I was like, that would be good. That's a cute name. And then, like, disconnected from that, I came up with her fire-based resurrection, and then I realized that Phoenix, and I was like, I accidentally did a cool. Some of these people on ArtFight, I wish they had links to like other socials so that I can make sure that I tag them when I post the drawings. But so many of them don't, and it's frustrating. Which reminds me, I need to make sure I'm doing that. Pretty sure I did. Yes, I did. Didn't want to be accidentally hypocritical. Well, as far as I know, this particular person, they only have their art fight that I can see where they're of their gallery. So give me a second. Wait, so getting back to the character, the thing I find kind of funny with Bruta is that this is the OC's owner's art fight page, by the way. Bruta is already turning into a character that I really like. He's a really big guy, very much into like physical stuff, but he's also very smart because he's in the same classes as Fee. That's kind of what I was deriving it from, but I mostly was deriving it from brute. Just the word brute. But yeah, so yeah, Bruta is like, even Fee's like, this guy's massive. And he's actually one of the guys that dragged her to the medical bay after her first training day. And he commented about how he thought it was essentially really badass that she went through all of that stuff, and he didn't think that she was actually going to make it through all of it. So because of that, when she gets out of the medical bay, he goes and sits with her during lunch, because nobody else was sitting with her, for a variety of reasons that I delved into more into that book. Because the school that she's at, she has a history with. It's a school she was going to before she died. So, and she wasn't well liked beforehand. But yeah, this basically from this point on is when Fee starts to develop into the Fee that we know and love, and she starts becoming more and more of a silly Billy, who takes her job seriously. And she refines like her ideals and stuff a bit more in this installment. But yeah, so one of the interesting things about Bruta is that when Fee was like, "That's not a normal name," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that. That's just what everybody calls me." His real name is I'm suddenly having different words pop into my head. Why? Yeah, so his real name is Yale. And so when Fee hears that, she's like, wait a minute. Yale as in person who is best friends with the guy that shot me? and he's like, yeah. And instantly she's like, I'm this conversation's done. But he begs her to listen, as he felt really bad for what happened to Fee, and because of that, he stopped being friends with Crucis, who's the one that shot Fee accidentally. But then Crucis got arrested and taken away shortly after Fee left, and everybody just assumed that Fee had something to do with that because Extra Morti have that kind of pull in society to where they can basically do whatever they want and have anything done for whatever they want. But when he tells Fee this, Fee's like, I didn't even know any of this happened. Like, I don't know anything that happened outside the Morta Heath. It's spelled Bruda. But he starts being called Bruta because over the next couple years, he gets really big. And so he basically he starts being called a brute. Or Bruta doesn't necessarily mean brute. It is one of the meanings that we would associate it with. But it's basically the name for someone who is exceptionally large, and physically intimidating, and like a few other things. But yeah, everybody just started calling him Bruta when he suddenly was like almost twice the size of everyone else. Yes, your name is big. Basically, I mean, he's basically a Sonic character. He's Big the Cat. But he's not like a stereotypical one. Like I said, he's a pretty smart guy. But yeah, so yeah, he explains that everybody thought that Fee had Crucis arrested and nobody really knows what happened to him, but everybody kind of knows what happened to him. He got executed and was recycled, basically, is what it's called. At least that's what everybody thinks. Now, is that what actually happened? Possibly. Most likely. I haven't decided yet. But, yeah, so everybody kind of was upset about Fee because of that. No, the guy was arrested. He was taken away by the what's called the Tirai. They're basically the Imperial Police. But yeah, he got arrested and taken away. And nobody knows what happened to him after that. Everybody kind of knows what happened to him, but nobody knows what happened to him. But they kind of know. But they don't. So yeah, everybody was upset with Fee about that. She wasn't very popular to begin with. Poor guy got hit with a recycling bin. Oh man, that sucks. But yeah, everybody just thought that Fee just went to the Mortahedral because, I mean, everybody knew she was like hyper religious, and so like, well, yeah, she would definitely go to essentially the Vatican. And then suddenly she shows back up again. They're just, a lot of people just think that she's coming back to kind of flaunt that she's an extra Mortai and that she got to be at the Mortahedral and all this stuff. And they just thought that she was just going to be a snob, basically. And so when she went through all that stuff with that first training day, that kind of showed an idea of maybe she's not. Because what kind of uptight hoity-toity person would go through that kind of anguish to the point to where, like, once they were done, they collapsed and like anybody else would have just died right then. And so that was the thing that made Bruta be like, okay, maybe I got something wrong about her. Maybe there's more things I got wrong about her. I want to get to know her now. And so then they become friends. They're going to become really good friends. And Bruta is a pretty popular guy. It kind of makes it easy to be popular when you're bigger than most everybody. And Fee is taller than most everybody. So, like, when they're standing next to each other, they look like the number 10. So, oh, stitches. Well, yeah, I'm only about probably halfway through that scene. Yeah. Yeah, because Fee is like a rail and he is a wall. One of the things that Fee like thinks about when she looks at him is like, this guy is so big. Why did he need another person to pick me up to take me to medical bay? He could have easily just held me with one arm. This is also when I introduce Fee having a preferential drink. So before soda's ever made, what Fee would do with her drinks is that she would get essentially a soda of some sort, and then she would put a whole bunch of packets of sugar in it, because it always tasted bland to her. But having like 16 packets of sugar in her cup with her drink always made it very nice and tasty for her. And so that's basically a leeway into her becoming obsessed with Suda. And then when Bruta comes up, he has like a massive amount of food on his tray, and he just like mixes it all together and shovels it into his face. In like a couple minutes, it's all gone. And Fee's just like, holy crap. But yeah, that's about as much all I got done. It was over 1,200 words, which I was pretty happy with. I saw a video, or a TikTok rather, where someone was saying that you can either be a hobbyist author or you can be a professional author. I don't think I can ever be an actual professional author. I have too many things going on to where it would slow me down significantly, and also I can't like force myself to do certain things. Partially because I'm exhausted and my brain's just braining. But like there are just so many times where when I can't write because my brain's not making words, but I can make a picture. And then there are some times where I can't make a straight line, but I can write a bunch of words. Since when do brain? I don't know. I think it's something that people made up. But everybody always talks about, like, use your brain. It's like, well, I don't have one. I have a Brian. And he's on break. And he's been on break for a very long time. Stitches is sleeping on her back with her legs sticking up like a dog. This poor creature. It's just terrible. I might end up getting CPS called on me, Cat Protective Services, because of just how miserable this little creature is. Oh, stretch. Oh, stretch. You poor thing. Oh, what? Oh, I touched the kitty. Now the kitty needs to get in my face. What is it? Alright. Well, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do tomorrow. I think I'm going to put off doing gaming streams for a while. Yeah, partially because, like, because there's such a saturation, and because people who come to my streams come to my art streams and not my gaming streams, therefore they don't care about the gaming stuff. They don't care about watching me be terrible at games. They care about me being terrible at drawing. So I don't know what I'll be working on tomorrow. I'll try to figure that out. I'll have Stitches here try to help me figure that out. What do you name your pals? So, when I have a cremis, I name them one of my OCs. So the one I have right now, her name is Feet. And then the rest of them I just call Craig. if I bother naming them. I just named them Craig. That's it. They're all Craig. Because it is a thing I got fixated on. Because it's a joke from an old video from the YouTuber Brutal Moose, where he did a review of a game called Animal. And it's a game about it's an advertainment game where some UK company basically that makes Slim Jims made a point and click adventure game, because this was the 90s. And so then he had a bit where it's like, at the beginning of the universe, the creators of everything got together, and there was like these floating heads in space, and they would like show up, and they would just be like head 1 or head 2, head 3, whatever. And then the last one, his name was Craig. And I just thought that was the funniest thing. And that's just like cemented into my brain to where I just name things Craig. And I've done that ever since, and it's been well over a decade. It makes me giggle every time I think about it. Just all these divine beings have name tags of like space being 1, space being 2, space being 3, and then Craig. Just thought it was one of the funniest things ever. And so yeah, that is why. That's why I'm basically fixated on that name for shits and giggles, poo-poos and ha-has, tee-hees and pee-pees. But yeah. So I did what I wanted to do today. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I am trying to get around to working on a few things so that I can post them on places to be beneficial. But I do have commissions open for these stained glass window style drawings. It's just a flat rate on my Ko-Fi. Link is where the links are. So I would highly suggest you go check them out. And then do all that follows and likes. Give follow. Follow the giving follow with the like. Hit the likes. Oh, and like and all that stuff. I'm very good at this. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow.